Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon Greer. I'm the Communications Coordinator here at the LBA. Today, we are having our final February community conversation, and we're joined by Dwight Bransford. He's the head of school at the West End School in Louisville. They serve boys pre-K through 8th grade. They were founded in 2005, and their program seeks to level the playing field so that their students have access to quality education, enrichment opportunities, and future academic and career prospects. Mr. Bransford joined the school in 2019 after a decade of working in sports medicine, and he brings with him experience to create significant change, crisis conflict, and cultural transformations by assembling coaching communities through stakeholders and exceeded educational objectives. Mr. Bransford, I'm going to let you take it over and give us some insight about the West End School.
Thank you, Ms. Greer. In addition to my 10 years in exercise science and sports medicine, that career path, I spent approximately 20 years in JCPS as well, as a middle school science teacher, high school physics teacher. Also went into administration there before I came to West End School. Our experience at West End School, as Ms. Greer stated previously, school began in 2005, small house on West Chestnut Street with 3 young men. School was founded by Robert and Debbie Blair, and then he eventually transitioned to our current location here on 3628 Virginia Avenue. Used to be the old school of, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here for a second, Carter Elementary. Carter Elementary School building. The new building now is about 3 blocks from our location. Carter Elementary is a JCPS elementary school, but we came here in 2008 and continued to build the school and evolve the school with growth in our middle school grades, 6 through 8, where eventually we transitioned from 5 students to 10 to 20, where we currently serve 33 middle school students now, who are all boarding students. And then as time went on, we began building the lower school grades kindergarten through 5, and then made our way back to the pre-K grades, and just completing that transformation pre-K through grade 8. Our goal here is to serve students who would qualify for free and reduced lunch in public schools, and just create a quality learning environment for them, not just academically, but socially and emotionally as well. Prepare them for high school, college, and beyond. We have, several partnerships throughout, the Louisville community. Reason why I'm running a little late and behind today, and just took a couple of students out to Walden School for their placement exams, for next year. And we have partnerships with, as far as the private school sector, Trinity, St. X, DeSales. We have students that have attended or currently are attending Walden, Collegiate, St. Francis, and Kentucky Country Day as well. And then also have students placed in some JCPS schools such as Manual, Butler, and Central High School currently. So we want to help our students and families as they transition from West End School to high school, to find a best fit for them, both academically and socially and emotionally as well. And then, that partnership continues as they go beyond high school. We currently have partnerships with Bellarmine University and with University of Louisville as well, and Simmons College. And we just want to prepare our students like I said before, to go beyond West End school, high school, college, and on their career path as well.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that you have all these partnerships with local high schools and local colleges and stuff. Is that kind of your big picture to help these students get on a very productive future and kind of have an impact later on in the Louisville community?
Yes, it goes back to, the foundation of the school. Robert Blair, our founder, created the motto of, to be a man is to be responsible. And, finding that highest level of responsibility as a man, even at this stage as a young man, creating that tract of responsibility, both academically, both socially and emotionally, how to understand what a brotherhood is like in this type of school environment. And, part of that brotherhood and becoming a man is how to treat yourself, how to treat each other, positively, and then allowing that to filter out into the community as a West End school student representative, how to treat young women, your mothers, your aunts, and your sisters. And then, our volunteers, our visitors that come to our building, we want that to just flow through our students as they become older and more mature. It's just, naturally embedded in them where they can be a productive citizen, a productive young man.
It sounds like you all are taking a really unique approach on education and not just focusing on things like test scores and stuff. You're really hitting at the emotional growth and the individual growth. And I think I saw that you all have residential students living on campus as well. How does that, I mean, that's obviously very unique to your school. How do you think that benefits them and helps their education?
Well, it's a really structured environment. We currently serve 33 middle school students, grades 6 through 8, that are in the boarding component. And then 5 of our alumni students who are currently in high schools have opted to come back or remain here as boarding students as well. So we have 5 of those alumni students that are part of that program. Like I stated, with our middle school students, it's a very, organized, structured day where, they wake up in the morning at 6:15, 6:30, shower, get dressed, and they have to report to, before they can report to breakfast, they have to pass their room inspection in the morning, and then report to breakfast by 7 a.m. And really 7:15 up until around 7:45 is breakfast time. From 7:45 to 8, we have morning devotion. And that includes our head of dorm, Charles Pearson, who's also a middle school science teacher here, our school chaplain, Pastor Stevens, myself included, also our athletic director, Daniel Hawkins. So we intentionally have, that male figure always in place, always intact, to talk about, just day-to-day, items with them, what it looks like to be successful. And so, we make sure that is included in our morning devotions. They report to first period by 8 a.m. Their regular school day ends at 3:30, depending on the day. Toward the end of the day, we have elective classes. We have junior achievement. We have some mentoring programs, Men Equality, Bellarmine Pathways, University of Louisville Minority Teacher Recruitment Program sessions, and Coca-Cola Consolidated executives are here as mentors as well. So, it's structured throughout the day. We have core, common core academics, science, social studies, math, ELA, Spanish included, of course. Once they are finished with their school day, they report back to the dorm, change their clothes, and they are assigned cleaning duties. And that looks like from vacuuming the dorm room, second floor, to you may have urinals, cleaning urinals this week. So that's part of the makeup of building a brotherhood and teamwork and responsibility. And in those conversations, we want this to continue throughout your life. It will make your life easier when you head off to college and you're having to be independent, living in a dorm room or an apartment. And hopefully that transitions to when you own your own home one day and really taking care of that, right? So once they finish with their cleaning duties in the afternoon, typically it's from 3 to about 3:30, 3:45, then they report to athletics. So dependent on the day, depending on the time of the year. Like right now, we just started track this week. So we're going into spring sports. So we have track and field. We also have flag football in the spring as well. And then in the fall, we have soccer. In the wintertime, we have basketball. So those are our athletics that ranges a timeline of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. After 6, they report to, or at 6, they report to dinner. And from 6 to 6:45 is dinner. 6:45 until around 7:30 is house time. House time ranges or varies from going to play basketball in the gym, going to use the 3D printers over in the makerspace, playing pool, ping pong. Sometimes we have guest speakers come in. So that's a variety going on during house time. And then from 7:45 until 9:15 is mandatory study hall. And then we have lights out after showers at 9:30. So it's a long day. It's a regimented day, but I guess that helps them sleep well at night.
That's awesome. I love the individual approach you all take to really bettering all your students and making sure that obviously they're having great access to educational materials and what they need for a great educational career, but also I never learned in school how to take care of a home and just how to deal with all those adult hurdles that, I learned the Pythagorean theorem, but not how to do my taxes or anything. That's awesome. You all have achieved a lot, obviously, in your, 17 years now that you've been around. What goals do you have for the upcoming year and also long term?
As we, just like any other school and just society in general, we're still trying to navigate through COVID. Last year we shut down pretty much the entire school year. We were able to open back up in the spring of last year, and just really getting our kids back on track, both academically, socially, and emotionally. That was one reason why we started the school year this year, 2021-22 school year. We started July 7th. So we started about a month and a half earlier than we normally would. And that the purpose of that was to get our kids back into the school, acclimated into that learning environment. Going forward with West End School, we want to become more intentional and more have a more narrow focus academically. Really focusing on ramping up literacy and math as well, but not discounting any of our other core academic subjects. We're experiential learning school, so COVID has you know, hindered that growth a little bit, slowed things down. So part of our learning experience here is you know, field trips and field learning assignments and things of that nature. So, you know, we want to continue that, get that back on, you know, on the right path for our students and our families as well. You know, we also, as any other school, we want to continue to developing, you know, strong parental engagement. You know, that's going to be key for us going forward. You know, if we have the parents and families completely, you know, bought in, then it's almost an automatic or a guarantee for, you know, the students to learn and grow, you know, academically and to have a lot of progression there. So, I mean, it's a lot of similarities to, you know, most schools, of course, but, you know, we have a summer school built into our school year calendar, but I know we're going to shift a little different and kind of go a little bit outside the norm in the box for us from what we've done in previous years, you know, where we've had summer school in the month of June, that entire month, Monday through Friday, 9 until 2, 9 until 3. And it's a regular school day in a sense where there's math, there's ELA, there's science, there's social studies, just having conversations with our teachers and our faculty and staff, and honestly getting some feedback from, you know, colleagues locally. We want to narrow our focus this upcoming summer, with our summer school program, and really hone in on literacy, hone in on math, and part of that as well is really ramping up professional development for our teachers and our staff, where we can, you know, we're better equipped in servicing our students.
Well, I saw on your website that you have sponsorship opportunities and volunteer opportunities. Do you want to kind of tell us about that and how, you know, members of the LBA could get involved and help you all out?
Yeah, sure. You know, we have a board of trustee, Akiri Paradis, who is an attorney and has done some work with LBA. So, I mean, you know, West End School was built on volunteerism, on the back of volunteerism. That's a mainstay. It's never going to change. What has helped this year, we were able to hire a volunteer coordinator, which organized, you know, she was able to organize things for us and position volunteers based on their strengths and what they want to bring to West End School. Because, you know, I've had volunteers walk into the door, you know, just cold off the street, so to speak, and heard about your school, would love to come in and volunteer. And my reply to that, or response to that, is, what would you like to do? Because I don't want a volunteer to come in and we have them, you know, washing windows and just help us keep the school clean, stuff like that, right? So it's a conversation based on how they want to serve our community, how they would like to engage and be involved. You know, we have a variety of volunteers. We have some that have intentionally come in and worked with our literacy specialists and you know, just advancing our literacy component for our students here. You know, doing one-on-one instruction with our students that may be like, you know, your tier 3 students that are in dire need or have significant deficiencies in literacy. We have volunteers that come and they don't want to have any involvement or engagement with the students, but just want to help with upkeep of the building. And we have volunteers that come and serve meals at lunch, at dinner time in the evening, or if they don't have the time to come in and physically serve, they just may simply drop off, you know, meals for our students at dinner time. We have volunteers that take the lead or take the leadership on, you know, supply drives, for our students and, have, take the leadership on, in positions of student student and staff appreciation for our school community. So it varies throughout, and we just welcome, any volunteer that wants to serve in any type of capacity.
That's awesome. Well, I am out of questions. I will post a link to your all's website so that anyone watching or interested can contact you all for some volunteer opportunities. Do you have anything else to add for today?
Well, you guys, LBA has been very generous to West End School. I'm sure before I came here as head of school, but I've seen it firsthand in my, almost 3-4 years of service here, and just really appreciate what LBA has done for our school community. As I always say, if it's not for, volunteers, donors, community members that really engage West End School, we wouldn't be able to continue to evolve and wouldn't have an opportunity to thrive as well. So just very appreciative of everything that you guys have done for us, just this today, being able to, engage with you here. You've helped financially and helped in other ways as well. So we're just very thankful.
Well, we love to be a part of what you all are doing over there, and we'd love to keep that going in the future.
Yeah. I tell you one thing, I've talked to Akira Paradis, who's the attorney on our board. Eventually I would like to see West End School shift to not necessarily a magnet school, but have magnet program options. And one of those options I would like to have here at the school is law.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've talked to Akira and a couple of other board members, not just attorneys, but paralegals and law enforcement officers, and because our kids need to see that full scale of career options and opportunities for them, and how to engage in those career paths. And even it's like we have great kids here and great families. We really do. And I'll be very transparent in saying this. As a school that predominantly serves predominantly African American males, we need to develop good relationships and rapport with law enforcement, and vice versa. So I think that's really important, for the future of West End School. That's one important piece.
We are obviously biased and think a law magnet program sounds wonderful, and we would love to help you in any way that you need it. So hopefully that comes to life and we can help you all. Because I agree, I think that's really important. Understanding the law and legality of everything. It's complicated, but it's very useful, and it can be crucial in life situations.
Yeah, because my wife and I are friends with the principal at Central High School, and friends of other staff and faculty there, and with their pre-law program there, their pre-law magnet program, it was like I've shared with them, I would like to create, an opportunity where it's a pipeline of students that want to go into, a pre-law magnet, pipeline them to Central. I've even had discussions with U of L as well, Central to U of L. So of course, it's not just me, but a team of, having those folks having those conversations. Those are the things that we'd like to see down the road.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to work with pipelines like at Central and across the Louisville schools, and we've been able to see firsthand how beneficial it is to the students to get involved in law early on and get passionate about it early on. So We'd love to work with you all to see that come to life at the West End School.
Be great. Would be great.
Well, thanks so much for coming and talking to us today and letting us know more about your wonderful school. And we look forward to working with you more in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Take care.